niya ang kalibutan. Imo kining tanan. Initiating virtual tour.
And we are live!
Actually, this is pre-recorded.
Hello there! You made it! Welcome to the virtual tour of the University of the Philippines, Cebu. I'm Annie, and I am a proud alumna of UP Cebu. And between just you and me, I had the best 4 years here in UP Cebu. I came from the College of Communication, Arts, and Design, where we did not learn only the basics in journalism and other communication components, but they also taught us how to become relevant.
You only have one viewer.
My college is also home to the fabrication laboratory, where people meet and converge to use different equipment where they can fabricate things, stuff for the advancement of industrial and product design. All of this comes from the creativity of the Fine Arts program itself. Hey Sean, why don't you tell them more about the Fine Arts program?
The Fine Arts program itself, founded in 1975, is the pioneer formal school in the fine arts outside the national capital. The college is also the host to nearly half a century-old annual painting competition, Jose Hoya Awards, in honor of the famous national artist Jose Hoya, and from whom UP Cebu's Jose Hoya Gallery was named after.
As the campus of the premier university here in the Visayas, we have to be good. No, we have to be better, or even we have to be the best, not only in the humanities, but even in the sciences as well. Isn't that right, Sean?
That's right, Annie. In 2014, UP Cebu Senvi, or the Central Visayas Center for Environmental Informatics, came up with high-resolution maps using LiDAR technology. The use of this technology by UP Cebu Senvi provided government agencies with accurate data for more precise community flood risk assessment and management. This helped local government units make informed decisions based on data science and, in the process, maximizing their financial resource utilization. And in the case of the Naga Cebu landslide of 2018, UP Cebu Senvi's use of LiDAR technology allowed for one of the fastest search and retrieval operations in a disaster in the Visayas.
Helping the community through the sciences is very fulfilling. But we were not just exposed to that. We were also exposed to the social sciences, from political science to psychology, and all of these concepts helped shape our mindsets to become better citizens. In fact,
the College of Social Sciences articulates and addresses global challenges. The college offers comprehensive and appealing programs for high school, undergraduate, and graduate students. The Master of Education program is a non-thesis graduate program designed for graduates of the Bachelor of Elementary Education or Bachelor of Secondary Education who want to pursue their professional preparation through future studies in areas relevant to teacher education.
And of course, there were also budding business leaders in campus. They were the ones who had the nose for business but had the big heart to be of service.
Under the School of Management, students are not only taught to be decision makers, but the forerunners in marketing and finance. It also hones those interested in further studies of this field through its Masters in Business Administration program.
Today, I am now a practicing broadcast journalist, an opinion columnist, an entrepreneur, a teacher, a better person, really. All of this because of my training and experience at UP Cebu.
Nurtured to create, inspired to innovate, destined to serve. We at the University of the Philippines Cebu are driven by academic and operational excellence.
And that's it. Thank you so much for joining this virtual tour. I'm so happy you took part. Oh look, Sean, a lot of people are tuning in.
But the tour is over.
Well, we'll just do it again.
Ready when you are, Annie.
Reinitiate virtual tour.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Noel, Miss Nati, and to all of our participants today. Nagbabalik po ako. Ako po si Jera, ang inyong host from the last 2021 and 2022 learning series of the TLRC. Today, we will be starting off or initiating the TLRC's learning series with a bunch of guapos. Noel, guwapo ba talaga ang ating mga speakers in this particular series?
Guwapo, miss. Wow, guwapo
Super
dyan.
guwapo, right? So, it's a very nice day here in Laguna. I hope it's also very nice over there, the weather over there at Cebu, Noel. And I do
Yes,
hope that
yes.
everyone, I know you are coming from different islands here in the Philippines, and hopefully some of us are coming internationally from other countries, just like before. I would like to welcome you all to UP Cebu's Teaching and Learning Resource Center's Learning Series 2023. And this month, we are starting off with the best and the guapos from the mathematics program of UP Cebu's College of Sciences. We will be taking a look at one of the most useful tool and method in academic research, that is Likert data analysis. Whether you are a budding student researcher or a seasoned teacher, this series will likely make you like Kurt research more. We are very blessed to have you and the mathematics program with us in this learning journey. Before the webinar proper, I would like to enjoin you to listen to Ms. Noel for our webinar netiquettes, Sir Jacques Aboy for the rationale, and the introduction to the Likert data analysis series, and to our beloved TLRC coordinator, Ms. Nati, for the introduction of the speaker. Now let's start this webinar, this program, by knowing the netiquettes of the webinar, and I give you TLRC's one and only tech woman, Noel.
Thank you very much, Miss Jera. Charoy. So with the introduction. But yes, so before we proceed with the webinar proper, so please be reminded of the following webinar etiquettes. So this webinar will be recorded. We will be keeping tab of the proceedings for this webinar for documentation purposes. You are free to leave if you feel uncomfortable that this session will be recorded. Please mute your microphone during the talk. We want to make sure that the speaker's voice is clear to everyone. We may opt to remove you if you don't follow this request. And please refrain from taking pictures or videos of the talk. If you do so, you will be held accountable of data privacy violations if the copy you created leaks into other internet outlets. We wish to keep the identity of our participants private, so as yours as well. And please avoid using the annotation tool. Once the annotation tool is activated, you might unconsciously swerve your arrow towards the speaker's presentation and draw unnecessary lines that may block the participant's view on some texts and images on the slides. If you have questions while the talk is ongoing, you may put them in the chat box. After the talk, you will have a chance to ask your questions. We wish for you to only use the chat box rather than voice because of our time constraint. And please don't forget to evaluate. Your inputs on the webinar will help us improve our next webinars. So after you have answered the forms, you will be given a proof of participation. The evaluation link will be opened right after the webinar and shall remain open for only 10 minutes. And we are currently live streaming on our YouTube channel, the LRC UP Cebu. For those watching through YouTube and were registered, you will get your proof of participation by staying until the end of the session. We will be announcing the instructions of the live chat, so please stay tuned. And for more webinar and training updates, don't forget to follow and contact us on these platforms. For our Facebook page, we have Teaching and Learning Resource Center, University of the Philippines Cebu. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, TLRC UP Cebu to watch the previous webinars and for the recording of this webinar. And you can also access our website, tlrc.upcebu.edu.ph. And you may send us an email through lrc.upcebu@up.edu.ph. Ms. Jera?
Okay, thank you so much for that, Noel. Now let's hear from Professor Jacques Boy from the Mathematics Department of the College of Social Sciences to give us the rationale and introduction of the webinar series. Sir Jacques?
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, Sir Jacques.
Okay, so a pleasant afternoon to all participants of this webinar. Now, in the past few years, every member of the statistics faculty has had a fair share of consultations from faculty researchers and student researchers alike. Most of our consultations are on the analysis of data from survey questionnaires in the form of Likert. Now, whenever we present the results, the consultants sometimes receive comments from their thesis panel members. Sometimes they receive harsh comments because the analysis presented is not the one that they are used to. For example, they were told to use the weighted mean to get the average or even get the standard deviation to represent the variability of the data. Now, every statistician with a formal training in the theories and foundation of statistical science knows that getting the arithmetic or weighted mean from an ordinal data like Likert is inherently flawed and simply incorrect in every way imaginable. As to why, our esteemed speaker for today will explain it in detail later. This to us as statistics faculty presented an opportunity to correct this ongoing malpractice or misuse of statistics in the analysis of Likert data. Hence, this webinar in collaboration with the UP Cebu TLRC came into fruition. This webinar, though, is not meant to challenge nor chastise people with preconceived background of the topic, but we are here to teach enthusiastic researchers how to correctly analyze their data if it is Likert, so they may be able to publish their findings in high caliber journals. This webinar series is divided in 3 parts. So the first is the introduction. Sir Raden Agustin, our esteemed speaker today, will be discussing descriptive statistics of the Likert data and how to visualize them. And then the second part, which will be divided into 2, is all about inferences on Likert data. Now, we may not be able to teach you everything about the analysis of Likert data because on its own, it is a broad subject matter. But at the very least, we will get to teach you the basic and the relevant aspects of it. In addition, so the speakers, we have decided that aside from a certificate of participation that will be provided to you, we will also provide a separate certificate of completion for those who will submit an output that will be asked by us speakers. Now, this will be an opportunity for the speakers to evaluate if you were able to apply correctly the methods that we taught you based from a real data set. Now, we encourage you to submit these outputs because statistics is not a spectator subject matter. You really need to get your hands dirty to learn statistics, don't you agree? So, without further ado, I will now give the floor to our dear TLRC coordinator, Dr. Natividad Distillore, to introduce our esteemed speaker. Please give her a round of applause.
Okay, Miss Nati?
Sorry, I was muted. Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. I'm happy to introduce to you our speaker for this afternoon's webinar in the person of Mr. Raden Gerald Agustin. Sir Rad is a faculty member of the Mathematics and Statistics programs of the College of Science, University of the Philippines, Cebu. He earned his Bachelor of Science in Mathematics degree from the Mindanao State University, General Santos City, and his Master of Science Statistics from the University of the Philippines, Diliman. His research interest focuses on the application of statistics in the biological sciences. He is currently working on the construction of reference intervals and ranges with the use of patients' information such as age, gender, and body mass index. Apart from being an academician, he also enjoys photography, particularly enjoys taking pictures of landscapes and people. Sir Rad is here with us this afternoon to give an introductory discussion on the data analysis of Likert type dataset. So without further ado, please join me in welcoming Mr. Reden Gerald Agustin.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Good
So,
afternoon, Sir Rad.
Hello po. Am I audible now?
Yes po.
Ayun po. So, thank you, Doc Nati, for that introduction. So, I am very much I am very much happy for the the participants of this webinar series. I didn't expect na aabot tayo ng 300 participants, not including the YouTube viewers, no, ngayon. So thank you. So allow me to share my screen, no. So nakikita ba yung ano?
Yes, sir.
Ayun.
It's real.
So again, good afternoon, no, mayong udto sa tanan. So I am Rad Agustin and a faculty member of the Mathematics and Statistics programs of the College of Science here in UPCU. So my topic for this webinar series, no, part of this is a webinar series. Sorry. So thank you. So again, so this topic or our discussion for this afternoon, no, is all about the introduction to Likert data analysis. So to give you a brief overview of our discussion for this afternoon, no, so our discussion for this afternoon is so I will be discussing the definition of a Likert data. So like a brief introduction or a definition of what a Likert data is. And then I also include some review of the measures of scales, no? And then secondly, I will also the descriptive measures of Likert data, and also we will be using statistical softwares such as the Jamovie and Excel, Microsoft Excel, to visualize our Likert data. So to start, no, so many of us know here na every webinar series or webinar na ating attendan ay yung organizers are asking us kung ano ba yung ating feel or ano ba yung ating opinion about a certain topic na present sa webinar. So that question, no, or that type of questionnaire is a Likert scale. So what is a Likert scale? No? So a Likert scale is a rating system na kung saan dinesign ito to measure the people's attitude, the opinions, and perception. Kaya nga gamit ko siya every time na halimbawa itong ating webinar series. After the series, so the TLRC asks you guys kung ano yung perception nyo after this webinar. So a Likert scale is consists of a Likert items. So napapansin natin no, na sa isang survey, may mga questions na in a scale, in a Likert scale. No? So, a Likert scale is consist of a Likert items. No? So, hindi natin matatawag na Likert scale ang isang questionnaire or ang isang if isa lang ang ating isang item lang yun. So, a Likert scale is composed of many Likert items. So, depende sa inyo. So, we have questions 1 to 5 or 1 to 10. It depends on you talaga. So, if you are wondering kung sino ang nag-develop nitong Likert scale, so, a Likert scale was developed by Francis Likert. So, he was an American psychologist, American social psychologist, an educator, and a writer. So he developed this scale called the Likert scale in 1932 for an article Archive of Psychology titled A Technique for the Measurement of Attitudes. So he attempted to build a scale that made it easy to judge attitudes and opinions. So ngayon, di ba, gamit na gamit itong Likert scale sa lalo na sa field of ecology, political science, education, management, and parang lahat ng field gamit siya. So there are many types of Likert scale. No? So we have this 4-point Likert scale. We also have this very popular 5-point Likert scale, and we also have this 7-point Likert scale. So itong tatlong to ay very much common sa mga survey types, no? Pero meron din tayong 10-point Likert scale o meron ding 6-point Likert scale and etc. Pero itong tatlong to, these are the most common Likert scale na makikita natin sa mga surveys. So my question, which is better, an odd point Likert scale or an even point Likert scale? So, di ba, ang odd point Likert scale, so here, meron tayong odd point, we have the 5-point Likert scale, no, and the 7-point Likert scale. So these are example of an odd point Likert scale. And also, this is the example of a 4-point, an even point Likert scale, this 4-point Likert scale. So, may tanong na, which is better, an odd point Likert scale or an even point Likert scale? So to answer this question, so it really depends on your study. So to differentiate the two, the even point Likert scale and the odd point Likert scale, no? So in even point Likert scale, so here, it is a 4-point. For example, this 4-point Likert scale, no? So it's an even point Likert scale. So in even point Likert scale, the respondents are forced to respond or to give their emotion or to give their opinion about a certain topic. No? So wala silang option not to answer in neutral. Comparing to an odd point Likert scale here, especially here in 7-point Likert scale, no? So meron siyang neutral. So meaning, halimbawa, yung inyong respondent is hindi nila alam or wala silang idea to that topic or hindi ayaw nilang magbigay ng opinion to the topic, they can choose the neutral here para sa kanilang response. So it really depends on you. It really depends on the researcher. Kung gusto nyo na ma-force talaga yung respondents niyo to answer a specific or like specific emotion or like yung kanilang perception on a specific topic, so you can use the even point Likert scale. And then if gusto mo namang may like option, bigyan ng option ang respondents na neutral, so you can use an odd point Likert scale. So walang better or worse dito. Okay. So punta tayo sa review ng measures of scales. No? So, I think ito ang pinaka isa sa mga first topics in STAT 101. No? So, meron tayong nominal scales, ordinal scales, interval scales, and ratio scales. No? So, what is a nominal scale? So, a nominal scale is labeled into mutually exclusive categories within a variable. So, example of this is halimbawa, meron kang listing of continents. If, for instance, you labeled 1 for Asia, 2 for America, 3 for Europe, etc. So you labeled them into mutually exclusive categories. Next one is the ordinal scales. So it is classified into categories within a variable that have a natural rank order. So a good example for an ordinal scale data is an example, a temperature of a cup of tea. Halimbawa, your cup of tea is cold or tepid or lukewarm or say warm, hot, or very hot, no? So meron silang ranking or meron silang order. Next is the interval scale. So measured along a numerical scale that has equal distance between the adjacent values. So a good example also for this one is halimbawa, yung temperature ng cup of tea mo, but in a Celsius. Halimbawa, 35 degrees Celsius yung temperature ng cup of coffee mo, or yung tea, or 75 degrees Celsius, or even 100 degrees Celsius. Okay. So next is the ratio scales. So this is a quantitative scale wherein there is a true, zero, and equal intervals between neighboring points. So a good example for this one is the number line. Okay. So Sir Jack mentioned during his opening remarks about the ordinal scales. No? So Likert scale is an ordinal scale. So meaning, we have this example. So we have this the 5-point Likert scale. So this is an ordinal scale because the distance from very poor to poor is not necessarily equal. So we cannot say that the 4 times of very poor here is equal to good. So hindi siya nag-work na ganon. So here, for example, so 4 times the very poor is not equal to good. So ganon ang kahit na ina-number natin to 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 as 1 to very poor. So hindi siya kapag in ordinal scale, no? So like halimbawa ito ay ang very poor is 1. So sanay tayo na in a normal number, quote unquote normal. So sanay tayo na ang 1 is 4 times 1 is equal to 4. So here in ordinal scales, no. So if we label this very poor as 1, 2 as poor, 3 as average, 4, and 5 is excellent, no. So if ordinal ang ating data set, so we cannot say that 1 here very poor is 4 times 4 times good. So since 4 ang nandito. So, okay. So ganun yung nature ng isang ordinal na number or ordinal yung data. So since ating Likert data is ordinal, so getting the mean is inappropriate. So we cannot compute for the mean for an ordinal data. Instead, we can use the median and mode, and the mode is more suitable for easy interpretation. So take a look at this example. No? Again, we have this 5-point Likert scale. No? So very poor here, and then meron tayong excellent here. So if kukunan natin ng mean, ang good and excellent. Hindi siya nag-i-equal sa good and a half. Since ordinal yung ating data. So wala siyang sense, no? Kung kukunan natin ng mean yung isang ordinal na dataset. So wala, and also wala tayong option here in between good and excellent. Wala tayong good and a half na option here. So getting the mean of an ordinal scale is useless. Okay. So another example, so meron ako dito randomly generated na dataset. So I have 6 items, no? Like a 6 item na Likert. So 1, so meron tayong 5, meron tayong isang assets dito. So yung 1 is yung 1 is strongly disagree and yung 7 is strongly agree. So meron tayo dito items. And then this is randomly generated. And then tinry ko kunin yung mean ng each of the items, ng median, and ng mode. So we have take a look at item number 3, no? Ito. So dito sa mean ng item number 3, sabi dito is 4.8. And then yung mode naman is 7. So if we are going to interpret the mean of this item 3 here, no? So sasabi natin na the respondents are the majority of the respondents are somewhat agree to a specific topic or like their opinion or something. Yeah. So since halimbawa, round off to nearest hundreds, no? So magiging 5 ito. So and then i-report mo sa inyo sa research mo na the majority of the respondents are somewhat agree to a specific opinion or to a specific topic. Wherein dito naman sa mode, it suggests na 7 yung mode here. Tingnan natin. So if item number 3, so didilangin natin, no? So the majority of the respondents answered strongly agree. So meaning, kung i-report mo yung median here na 4.8 or gawin mo siyang 5, so misleading na yung iyong research, hindi na siya na-capture yung totoong, hindi na na-capture or hindi mo na-report yung totoong sentiments ng masa or yung respondents mo. So, medyo ano talaga yung mean compared sa mode since yun nga, yung ating data is in ordinal scale. Kaya medyo yung mean is nagkakaroon siya ng misleading or misinterpretation ng iyong data. Okay? So meron akong example here so meron akong I generated din a random data. So sorry for simplicity lang, no? Isa lang yung isang column lang yung na generate ko for simplicity. So para makuha yung mode sa Excel, no? So to compute for the mode in Excel, so you can just use the function mode and then highlight natin yung yung data na ating gustong kunan ng mode. So here, our mode here in our generated data is 1. So we can also get the median, but median is not parang center lang kasi siya ng data set natin. So wala lang siyang mahirap siya i-interpret. So here, the mode is 1 and the median is 2. So, punta tayo sa Jamovie. So I already imported the similar data set. No? So here, this is Jamovie. No? If this is not new to you, so ito yung ating, itong itsura ng Jamovie. So this is an open source na software, so you can download this for free. So if we are to get or gusto natin kunan ng mode yung ating data, so click lang natin yung exploration tab here in the upper left corner, no? So and then click the descriptives. So lalabas yung itong ganitong pane. So may window na descriptives, and then if you notice, no, merong obs dito, which is this one, the column here, and then meron ding a response column here. So ang ating gustong kunan ng mode is this response na variable. So i-drag natin itong response to this table, no, or box na under variables. And then here sa baba, scroll down, so may drop down menu here. So since hindi natin since interested lang tayo sa mode, so click lang natin ito. And then hindi rin natin ito gusto. So since interested lang tayo sa mode, no, so click lang natin itong central tendency and then mode. And then sample size, the end. And then yan. So here dito, so ilalabas na ni Jamovie yung ating result. So dito, if ating, sige, try din natin kunan yung median. So if balik tayo sa Excel, so ang ating mode here is 1, and then sa median naman is 2. So dito na rin sa ating Jamovie, so we have median and mode is 2 and 1 respectively. So same sila ng result. Okay, so dito tayo sa data visualization. So I think pabilis lang yung talk, no? So yung data visualization natin, so we can use a bar graph, no, to visualize our data na Likert data. So bakit hindi pwede yung histogram? So mas okay, hindi pwede gamitin yung histogram since yung ating data is not continuous. So we can only use histograms if ang ating data is continuous. No? So here we use bar graph to visualize our Likert data. So meron tayo dito story agree, and then it's agree, no? So we can also use pie chart, no, to visualize a Likert data, no? But if we have a 7-point Likert scale, so the rule of thumb in constructing a pie chart is that you can only use 5 to 6 categories, no? So in constructing a pie chart, so if meron na tayong 7-point Likert scale, you can use na lang siguro the bar graph instead. So notice then na the do's and don'ts of the pie chart is that dapat naka-percentage yung numbers here sa labas, and then naka-sort siya to largest slice of pie to the smallest slice. So naka-arrange yan siya according sa kanilang percentage. And yung rotation is clockwise. Okay. So to visualize to use the Excel in visualizing our data, our Likert data. So again, balik tayo dito sa ating data no kanina. So para mag-visualize to in bar graph. So, first is to highlight the ang ating data, and then click the insert, and then the pivot table. Oops. Time. So highlight, and then pivot table. Oops. Time. Time. So dapat meron tayong pivot table, no? Meron tayong create muna tayo ng pivot table before clicking these bars here with recommended charts, so para ma-count natin kung ilan ba yung 1, ilan ba yung 2, ilan ba yung 3, and so on. So wait lang ha. Medyo meron tayong aberya dito. So yan. Dapat makaka-create tayo ng parang distributions nila. So kung ilan yung numbers of ones. Halimbawa, yung 1 natin is merong nag-answer na 20. And then yung 2 natin ay may nagsagot na say 5. And then yung 3, may nagsagot na 10. And 4, merong nagsagot ng say 1. And then 5 ay may nagsagot na 16. Halimbawa ito. So if halimbawa nakuha na natin or naka-create na tayo ng pivot table, no? Itong ating response or yung ating target variable, no? Halimbawa ito na yung ating kanilang mga number kung ilan nagsagot. So click natin to sa clustered column, and then yan. So makakakuha tayo o makaka-generate tayo ng bar graph using these numbers. Okay, so dapat first muna is construct muna tayo ng pivot table. So let's try that ulit. Insert tayo na. Okay, wait lang. So ayun. And then highlight, and then insert pivot table. Ayun niya talaga. So there's problem, no? Ito sa ating pivot table. So ayun yung mag-display ng pivot table. So anyway, pupunta tayo sa ating the movie. So if gusto nating yes, reject.
Ay, try daw i-highlight ang duha ka columns sa Excel, including column A, column B. No, column A, column B.
Okay.
Okay. Take it out. Nothing?
Nothing. So
I think, okay.
wait lang.
Okay, go
Let's
on.
try one more time.
No, only until the 51st row.
Yeah.
No, and also the first one. You know. First
Try
column
this
as
kanina.
well.
So, but ayun niya. So
Yeah. Give me the data daw.
okay, so wait lang.
Okay.
No, sorry. So I tried this kanina and nag-appear naman yung pivot table. Sorry. So punta muna tayo sa Jamovie, no? So to visualize this data, no? So again, click the exploration, then descriptives. So same same na ida-drag natin yung ating variable, yung ating target variable, and then ito lang yung ating gusto, yung plots here. The plot option, the plots here na drop-down menu, and then click the bar plot here. So dapat ito same yung mag-a-appear na bar graph, no? So may aberya yung Excel ko. Try natin ulit. Ayaw niya rin. Okay. Pero yeah, yun yung para click the first pivot. Sige. Let's try. Ayaw niya rin. If I click the pivot table, ayaw niya rin lumabas. So,
Sir Rad,
yes.
just highlight first row until the 51st row and both columns.
First row. And then
First row. First column first. The two columns excluding the last one. So up until the 51st lang.
Here. Tama ba?
Okay, including
Including this one.
the variable name. You
This
have to
one.
include the oo. And also the first column. Dapat sabay. No, not that.
And this one. Sorry. I tried this kanina before.
Give me a copy of the data.
Sorry. So, sorry, no? Sabi ka?
Sir Rad,
Yes.
I think you have to highlight 1AB down to 51AB.
180.
Yes.
Down to 1A and B.
No. Start ka sa A.
Start ka sa A, then B.
Yes. Then B.
Okay. Highlight and then.
And then down to
Yan.
51.
Until 51. Okay yan.
And then.
Ayaw niya pa
S
rin. Ayan. So, may something ata yung aking Excel. So, may suggestion din dito na use the desktop app, no? I think my PC ay wala siyang installed na yung offline Excel, no? So, na-try ko to kanina before mag-start, and gumana naman siya. So, ewan ko lang ngayon bakit hindi siya gumana. So, yeah. Ayun niya. Hindi siya dapat may mag-a-appear dapat somewhere here in the left na yung pivot table. Yeah. So, yeah, dapat first is you first create a pivot table, no? Na may mga yung kaniyang numbers, kung ilan yung nagsagot ng 1, ilan yung nagsagot ng 2, 3, 4, and 5 para ma-construct tayo ng yung data or yung bar chart. So, bar graph pala. So, may nag-request din na ulitin yung ating sa Jamovie. So, first is natin. So first, no, click the exploration tab here in the upper right, the upper left, and then click the descriptives. Then, if meron na mag-a-appear na to, no? So merong observations and response, no? So ang ating a target variable is the response. So, i-drag lang natin yung target variable natin dito under the variables na box. Okay? So, meron ditong mga drop-down menu like the statistics and the plots. So here, under plots na drop-down menu, i-click din ito, plots, and then hanapin nyo yung bar plots. So click the bar plots, then it will automatically appear here sa ating results. So I'll first give the data to Sir Abong. So, ayun. So, to construct for a pie graph, no, here sa ating Excel, so again, dapat meron na tayong yung kanilang ilan yung number of responses per rank or per number. So, highlight natin ulit yung ating dalawa. So, dapat kasi meron siyang pivot table para mas madali. So, and then click here, yung parang pie. And then, ayan. So, dapat ito ay na-construct ko siya. So, dapat nakasort ko siya muna para mag-construct ninyo ng chart o pie chart ay yung naka-arrange na siya kung gaano kalaki yung mga slices ng pies. Yun. We can also edit this title. So, ma-edit nyo yan. So, halimbawa, a pie chart. And then here, halimbawa ito, bar graph. Try natin ulitin. Ano ito? Ayun pa rin. So, wait lang. Ayan. So, yung steps, no, to create a bar and pie chart is first, dito sa Excel is first, ay mag-construct muna tayo ng pivot table, no? Para kasi itatry natin to, i-highlight lang, and then create a chart. So, ganito yung itsura. No? So first ay kunan muna natin kung ilan yung nagsagot ng 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ganun. Para makakonstruct tayo ng ganitong bar graph. Okay? So, dun sa ating Jamovie, no, walang option na pie graph. So instead of pie graph, no, so we can only construct bar plots here or yung bar graph. Okay. So balik tayo dito. So again, pie chart is not appealing if 7-point method scale ang inyong data. So we can only use pie chart if ang ating questionnaire or yung ating data is a 5 to 6 Likert scale. Yan yung rule of thumb in constructing a pie chart. Okay. So in summary, no, So we already know what a Likert data is, and then the types of a Likert data, and then the scales. Then we also know the proper measure of a central tendency when it comes to a Likert data. And we are now, say, confident to create a bar graph and pie chart in Jamovie and Excel when we have the Likert data. Okay. So here are my references, no, sa aking talk. So you can also check these published journals. This is all available in Google. So you can search these journals. So again, this is the introduction to Likert data analysis, and thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Sir Rad.
Yeah, sorry sa I don't know, dun sa Excel part.
Don't worry, sir. Some of us also have those kinds of problems when it comes to online Excel, but most of the problems are gone when you use the data analysis pack using the desktop version of Excel.
Yes,
But
yes, po.
Excel is really, really good right now.
Mhm.
It's not just about accounting anymore. Excel is also on data analysis as well. So if you wanted to practice the ones being shown by Sir Rod today, you can use Jamovie and you also can use Excel.
Yes, open lang naman, available lang naman yung Jamovie, no? So you can download it for free.
Okay. So let's go directly to the question and answer portion of this webinar. And we will have Sir Rad, we will have you rest for a bit while we check
Thank you.
and determine the questions of our participants.
Thank you.
Okay. So do we have questions? Do you have questions? Okay. Noel, may question ba tayo? Okay.
So far, miss, wala. Yun lang yung sinad ko sa'yo kanina.
Okay. So there's actually one question before the start of the webinar kanina, and it's more on the use of SPSS. So this one is coming from Patrick. He said that though I am using SPSS for the reliability using Cronbach's alpha, the output gave me a warning that the determinant of the covariance matrix is 0 or approximately 0. And statistics based on its inverse matrix cannot be computed, and they are displayed as system missing values. Does it have a crucial consequence on further analysis? And what can be done? What I must do? So that was Patrick's question. So having a Cronbach's alpha that is, the covariance matrix is approximately 0, does it have a consequence on further analysis of his data? And what can he do?
I think that question will answer sa next webinar series. So
But yes.
yes, Sir Jack. I think Sir Jack has an answer.
But maybe you can have a little bit of enlightenment, Sir Jack.
Yes, Sir Jack.
Sure, no problem. So usually that error arises whenever variables are linearly dependent with each other, meaning in layman's term, yung dalawang variable na ginamit mo for analysis are technically just the same.
Same. Yes.
So nag-error siya sa software kasi akala ni tingin ni software is why are you correlating or why are you analyzing two variables
Same.
that are just
Yes.
technically the same?
Yes.
No, so they must be independent. We call that linearly independent with each other. So you have to make sure that the variables that you are using are totally different and independent with each other. And there are tests to do that.
Yes.
But you can also rely with the literature para ma-determine agad kung yung variables na ginagamit mo are talagang independent sila. Yun lang.
Okay.
Ayun.
So making
and
sure
also,
that
Yeah, sa next I guess next sa next ano no, sa next webinar series, so matatackle nila yan. So how
Yeah.
to
Okay.
correct
So-
that errors.
So I do hope
Yeah.
Patrick will still be with us during our next sessions so that you will have a little bit more enlightenment in that case. But one thing is for sure, make sure that the variables are actually very much independent from each other.
Yes.
Okay. Next, since Jamovie is actually very useful and also free to use, no, for laymen like us, is Jamovie an acceptable tool for publication?
I think yes. Since ano naman no, so wala namang nire-require na sa mga publications. I think wala namang nire-require na you should use this, should use that software. So
Yes.
even Excel is unacceptable. Yeah.
Yes, I also can attest to that because I had a publication wherein I actually used Excel also.
Hmm.
So,
So,
whether
pwede.
it is a super branded type of
Yes.
statistical application or not, as long as they give you sound and correct
Yeah.
data,
As long as
you have sound and correct data,
Yeah,
basically you have a sound research, then I think it is acceptable.
Yes. Parang wala
Okay.
namang maling software.
Exactly.
Siguro merong mali if mali yung paggamit mo.
If mali yung
Ayun.
paggamit. Dapat sound pa rin yung research, pati yung ano.
Yes.
So, this is actually a request for you, sir. How do you structure the Likert items for the analysis? So, I think matatackle ito for the next meeting, ano?
Yes. So, hindi
But-
ko na lang spoil.
Pero basically, the way you structure it in the Excel right now is the way you should structure it when you use SPSS or when you use Jamovie.
Yeah. Actually,
So it's all-
yung ginamit kong data set, no, yung pinaglaruan kong data set is just like a randomly generated. So nag-generate lang ako ng hindi talaga yun siya totoong survey. So I just generated it sa RStudio and then yun yung
RStudio.
ginamit ko ngayon. So
I see. So it was randomly generated to
Yes,
test
yes.
for this particular
yes, parang
webinar.
ano lang kasi ano lang to like we parang nag-focus lang tayo more on the descriptive side rather sa inferential side, no? So parang gusto ko lang kayong ma-inform or gusto ko lang kayong turuan how to use the Jamovie or Excel, paano punan ng mode or paano tayo visualize ng isang Likert data. Ayun.
Okay. So that was it. So I think this will be discussed more in the next session, how we would structure a Likert item for analysis.
Yeah. But just to
Another-
add, Ma'am Jera,
Sir Jack, go
konting
ahead.
additional lang. We usually organize our data set in by column. So yung variable for each variable, it must be arranged column-wise, and the rows will represent the observations per respondents. Kasi yun parang uniform talaga for every statistical software. So if you are including or organizing your data, make sure na lang na the columns represents the variables and the rows represents the responses for each observations.
Okay, so always
Yes.
remember observations, rows, columns for the variables. Okay. So another thing, is Jamovie the same as Excel, that it only shows the lowest value in the multi-modal data set? I think they are very much interested with Jamovie
Yeah.
right now.
So actually no, it's my first time using Jamovie. So wala pa talaga ako masyadong experience when it comes to Jamovie, no. So tingnan natin yan. So hindi ko yan masyadong masasabi. Sorry.
Okay. So thus analysis of Likert scale ends only as counting of the responses. Are there any more statistical interpretation or ways to report a Likert scale? One is,
Yes.
of course, the central tendency, which will be using mode, right?
Yeah,
But
yes.
what are the others?
So meron pa. So sa next webinar, dun nila more on inferential na sila Kasi dito, this is just the descriptive side
Okay.
of Likert data. So, if interested pa rin kayo sa paano mag-analyze more on a Likert data, so join the next natin.
Okay.
So,
So
this
there
is
are
just
more
more of-
inferential way
Yes,
of,
yes, meron.
you know,
So,
interpreting
hindi ko na rin
our
siya
Likert
sispoil.
scale data.
Yeah.
Today is just descriptive, so you
Yes,
have
yes.
to make sure that you come back for the
Yes,
second and the third session.
yes. So, mas interesting doon.
Mm,
Yes.
okay. Acceptable
Ma'am Chair,
Likert. Yes.
can I give
Yes.
them an idea about what will be tackled on the next ano,
Yes, Sir Jax. Very much
talks? Okay,
needed.
okay. So yung second talk by Sir Abordo, he will discuss about how to measure association or relationship between variables that are Likert in nature. So relationship meaning do they move in the same manner, or if they are correlated in statistical terms. And in my talk, I will discuss if these variables that are Likert in nature comes from the same distribution. So these are very important inferences that you can add insights to for your research.
So,
And by the
ayun.
way, aside from the average or the central tendency that is represented by mode or median, you can also measure the variability of the Likert data set. So usually kung Likert, we use interquartile range, no, not standard deviation. So please do not
Yes,
use
yes.
standard
Yes, yes.
deviation to
True.
represent the variability of the Likert, because standard deviation is a function of the mean. And
Mhm.
just like what Sir Rad has discussed, mean is not acceptable for an ordinal data. Yun lang.
So,
Okay.
ayun. So, if interested pa rin kayo doon sa sinabi ni Sir Jack, so join kayo sa next webinar series.
Okay, I think in some of the cases here sa ating mga participants, a lot of them really had an aha moment when it comes to like mean and also using standard deviation,
Yeah.
because of course, as a standard practice, this is an ordinal data, so you cannot use mean, and therefore you cannot use standard deviation. So
Yeah, I think din po, may observation din po, no? Kasi in Likert data, no, so it's usually numbered from 1 to 5. And as like parang makikita natin yon as the normal numbers. So kaya siguro may ano tayo na kunan agad natin ng mean, since akala natin those numbers are the normal numbers. But instead,
exactly.
those numbers are just parang categories, no? So yeah, ganun.
So yeah, I think that's because of the visual concept of numbers.
Kaya nga,
But
if you na-notice ninyo, no, na yung sa slides ko, no, so I didn't use numbers masyado.
instead you use the
Yeah, you use
visuals,
the
like
shapes,
shapes,
the letters, and the colors to represent na hindi talaga siya number. Ayun.
Yes. So that's one thing everyone has to remember. Okay. Next, there is supposed to be a corresponding range for each scale. Like example, for the scale of 1, the range is between 1 to 175 hypothetically. Recalling the median interpreted by Professor Rad a while ago, the value was 5.5 and it is between 5 and 6 in the scale. Where would this particular range or scale would fall? So,
Ayun.
if you
So,
are to use median, by the way.
median. So I think ang weird lang kasi i-interpret ng median, no, is that is the center of our. So ano yung center na yun? So parang nagre-represent ba siya sa lahat ng, parang yan ba yung magandang representation sa inyong like sa respondents? So parang wala siya, like yeah, siya yung center and then what? Parang gano'n. So yung median is, so parang wala lang if dito sa Likert na data, no, so wala siyang gamit in the sense. So
Exactly.
yeah. So parang may center ka, then what? Yung grade ka dun. So nagre-represent ba
Yeah.
siya ba yung good representation sa inyong sa mga respondents mo? So ganun.
So technically, parang hindi siya nagre-represent ng anything because hypothetically speaking, we are talking about categories here and one is not actually equal to the other.
Yes.
There is no
Yes.
equal
Yes.
distances between each
Right.
category.
Yes.
Okay,
Correct,
so I
Ma'am
think that
Gerald.
also answers the question on the elaboration of why weighted mean is not appropriate because there was actually a question here on that. So that was actually one of the answers.
Ayun.
Okay. So another okay. So how do we validate a Likert scale? Or I think they are talking about how do we do validation when it comes to Likert scale.
So ayun. Usually kasi, di ba? You mean the questionnaire mismo?
Yes, I think they are talking about the validity of the
Yeah.
questionnaire here.
So I think, can we use the product alpha? Jack, no? The product alpha to validate no. So you can use the product alpha to validate the questionnaire.
The
Or if
internal
may
consistency.
existing questions, so you can adapt that questions. Ano ba, question, may isang published paper and then you want to do that in a local time or then you can adapt the questions doon sa existing na
Alam ko yan. Ang tawag namin dyan ay piloting. So you have
ayun.
to make sure that the population that you wanted to study on will be piloted to another population of the same description. And then doon mo
Yes.
i-check whether yung standardized questionnaire mo is actually valid for that population. By actually looking also
Yeah.
into the Cronbach's alpha.
Yes.
Yes. And you can actually, if you will adapt from a published paper, their questionnaire, you can actually tailor fit it with so you can do some modifications. You are welcome to do so for as long as you will give it to some experts for validation ng items.
Okay, so take note of that. Make sure that it is given to experts for item validation. And also you use also this statistical means of validating your questions in the Likert scale survey questionnaire. Okay, so that's one. Another is I would like to put this in one question. All of these we can use Jamovie, Excel, SPSS, R, and Python, right?
Yes. Kahit
Which one is the easiest to use for layman's?
Yes, I think for me, no, easiest is the Jamovie. Kasi
Jamovie.
parang point of click din siya. So compared to Excel, so mag-report ka pa ng nilalagay mo pa yung ano. So for me, no, kanina if the viewers, no, can see or ano. So mas easy yung Jamovie kasi click nyo lang kung ano yung gusto nyong result. Compared sa Excel na para i-code mo pa.
Excel is coding. Actually,
Yes.
Excel is a good start when coding for R. Am I right?
Yes.
So, yeah. So the easiest one, according to Sir Rad, is actually Jamovie. And for layman's like us who wanted to do research on our own, we can actually use Jamovie and it's free to use. Okay. Another
Ma'am
thing.
Jera, may questions ako dito. Sige. Ay, sorry.
Sige, one
May
more.
questions dito from the participants. From Adrian Ginto. Okay lang, Ma'am Jera, sorry.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay.
This is an open discussion.
From Adrian Ginto, is it statistically correct to use Likert scale with corresponding intervals and adjectival interpretations? This is the common practices in statistical analysis in thesis in university. So my thoughts, please. No. So the answer to that is no. You cannot put or you cannot assign an interval to Likert responses. Kasi nga, just like what Sir Rad has discussed, even though Likert data is number, they do not act as real numbers. No, because when you put them in intervals, intervals are subsets of the real line. And by doing so, you are violating the very core of the real number system. So you should not be doing that. I have
True.
seen this. I have seen this many times na kunyari a 1 to 2.55 is
That's
agree, something like that. So you shouldn't be doing that because again, Likert responses are not real numbers. They are just codes to the categorical responses.
Okay. So please take note of what Sir Jack said, and also make sure that if you are a student researcher and you are not very sure about these items or things that you will be doing in your statistical analysis, make sure that you contact or you consult with your statistician or with your advisor seriously on these.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next. So
Exactly.
that's actually a very important and also very interesting question. Good thing it went into the question box right now because it's very important to take note of. Okay. Now, how do you, kailan po ba, or how can you say that how many items are needed for it to be called a scale?
As long as hindi lang siya nag-iisa. So yun
Hindi
lang.
lang siya nag-isa. So at least
ayun.
two.
At least
Two
pwede.
and
3,
more.
yeah.
I
So
see.
parang
So,
weird din naman kasi na magpapasurvey that is isang
kasi pag yes or no lang.
yes or no, yes or no.
Di
So
ba?
parang ganun. Yeah.
Dichotomous. The
Mm.
safest way is still to review your literature of your
Exactly.
research paradigm.
Exactly. So review literature. So when are we going to use reliability and validity? I think yung gustong i-ask dito is, if you have a questionnaire, when do you use validity? Validity can be done with experts, right? And
Yeah.
also statistics. And reliability can be done by way of Cranbox Alpha. And this must be done before you do the field
Yes,
research.
yes. Oo.
Which means that you are done with your pilot testing, you are done nipping out the not necessary questions for that population, you are done adopting and changing what it needs to be changed before you give it out on the field. So I think that's the answer for that question, which is
So,
we actually discussed a while ago. So you have to do the pilot before you
pilot
do the
testing,
field.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So may isang ano dito, Ma'am Jera.
Sige po,
May
sige po.
asa. So kasi yun sa what if daw a 5.5 na yung lumabas na median? If I disagree and 6 strongly agree, what will be the interpretation of 5.5? So this is the time when median will not be reliable kasi wala nga again meaning yung 5.5. So median is not really a perfect descriptive statistic for the Likert scale.
Yeah.
And just like what Sir Rad has mentioned, mahirap siya interpret for Likert na responses. Kaya mode na lang talaga kasi ang dali-dali niyang i-describe. Kasi yun yung frequent na response eh.
Response sa
So
isang,
meaning, marami yung nag-agree. Ito yung response ng
yun yung
karamihan,
boses,
ng
yun yung boses
majority.
ng masa.
Yun
Parang
talaga
ganun.
yung voice. Yeah.
True.
Yung median mahirap interpret.
Okay, so at least you know right now that mode is the best way to descriptively interpret your Likert scale data. So another thing, well, actually this is very honest, no? Na question. What is the simplest way possible to know if you're going to determine a data to be ordinal or nominal? So a lot of young researchers actually have these problems, right? So when starting with their statistics in their research, so how or what is the simplest way to determine whether it's ordinal or nominal?
Sorry po.
What is the simplest way possible to determine if the data is nominal or ordinal?
Ayun. So I gave an example kanina, no? sa nominal, so we can have a category. So halimbawa, like the continent. So one as Asia, two as like kanina, yung ano? Two is yun. Two is I have a copy. So two is America, three is the Africa, and so on. So in ordinal things, no? So para din siyang ranking. But so yung example ko kanina sa ordinal is yung halimbawa, yung temperature ng cup of coffee. A cup of tea. So meron tayong lukewarm, cold, hot, very hot, and tepid. No? So ganun.
Okay. So
Just to add,
yes,
okay,
Sir
sorry.
Jack.
Yung pinaka-simple na way to identify if your data is ordinal, if you are trying to describe a variable at yun nga, meron siyang rank, meaning one description is quote-unquote higher than the other. Unlike yung simple lang na label, just like names. Ako, I'm Sir Jack, Ma'am Jera, Sir Aden. So those are just names and you cannot rank us. No, you cannot rank names, but you can actually rank our, let's say, our positions in the university. So for example, assistant professor 1, instructor 7, or instructor 1. So these are names. However, even though they are names or labels, they have ranks. So kung may ganun na aspect na merong rank, one description is higher than the other, then that is an ordinal data.
So yeah, thank you, Sir Jack.
Okay, that's also a very good example.
Concise explanation. Thank you.
Okay. So there are actually repeated questions over here. Again, we need to use mode for ordinal data like this in the Likert scale. Also, another is how do we interpret Likert scale instrument with several components, like 5 components with 5 Likert scale statements per component? Is it by statement analysis or by component? And do we have to interpret these multiple Likert scale items directly as mode per item or mode for all of the items? So that was the question.
I think Sir Jack has an answer now.
I think Sir Jack has an answer.
Okay, yeah, I had an experience with this one already. So usually what I give as results are the mode for each items, and then I will let them give an overall na parang conclusion based on those values of modes. So you can definitely do that. But can you do mode of mode? Certainly, if it's easy to interpret. Kung meron siyang meaning sa research na paradigm na ginagawa niyo. Okay lang naman. You can get the mode of modes. Walang problema doon.
I can
Pero for
also
me, wala ding
remember
issue. Yeah.
there
Yes, Ma'am Jera.
are survey questionnaires that would look into the tendency of the person to be like this or be like that. And most of the time they are by components. And looking into their modes, you will find what you really are. So for example, what are you as a student? How do you study? So that's a study inventory type of survey questionnaire. They are done per component, but the components are taken, the mode of each component is taken, and that is actually what you are as a student. So I think that is what Sir Jax actually said. So you can do it per item when needed by the study, or per components, and you use still the mode to identify the to describe what you see. Another thing is, how do we this is actually a little bit of issue on some of the individuals in the academics, how this person had a new insight during this talk, and he said that we would like to interpret Likert data in mode for the central tendency, using mode because we were enlightened by this webinar. But what would be the nicest way to convince my fellow colleagues to use mode instead of mean?
Just give an example right away.
Yes,
So for
yes.
example, elevator floors.
Yeah.
Elevator
Yun yung
floors can be
yun yung
considered
maganda.
as cardinal. There is no average between the second and the third floor. Meron ba?
Yeah.
Meron bang
Mm.
floor sa gitna? Wala.
That is, yun yung mas magandang explanation.
Elevator
Para,
explanation.
or the
Elevator.
floors ng isang building. Yun.
Mm.
Na
Exactly.
walang 3.45 na floor.
Wala.
Wala. So, parang ganun. So, yun yung mas magandang explanation na ibigay ninyo sa mga kilala ninyo.
I hope this fellow researcher here can actually have the courage to tell his other colleagues that it is the best measure for these particular data, especially on the central tendency, would be mode. Okay. And we have a last question, very last question. What if po ang question po is, if i-rate ang bawat statement from 1 to 5, with 1 being the lowest and 5 being the highest, is it Likert pa rin po ba, or we can get the mean po for the rating? I think rating still counts as a Likert scale, right, Sir Rad and Sir Dax, right?
Yeah,
If rating ba?
Yeah. It's a rating system kasi yung
parang satisfaction yun, di ba?
So,
okay.
And then,
my suggestion is make it okay.
Sige po.
If you want to really capture the score, why not make it continuous na lang?
Continuous, yeah.
Oo. Bakit? Why will you limit the response to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 only? So give the respondents the freedom to put 5.25, 5
or even 0.1.
So hindi lang siya 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, even 0.1.
Exactly.
So hindi na siya Likert. You can now use mean.
Yeah,
because it's now a continuous data.
Yeah.
So you can use mean. I see.
So feel free to use decimals na lang. That will
Exactly.
really capture there.
If that's what the audience or the participant of your research would want to say, then make it continuous data.
Correct.
Yes, correct.
Okay. So, Sir Jax, may nag-DM po sa inyo. Very important question raw. Okay? But while you are reading that, I will ask Sir Rad.
Yes, well.
If you are using 2 different Likert questionnaire to measure the correlation, I think my correlation, and then there's 2 Likert questionnaires being used. Do the instruments or questionnaires need to be composed of the same number of items? So dapat ba si questionnaire 1 is 25 and questionnaire 2 25 na rin?
Or yung
will be discussed.
If you are to correlate them?
Yun. The next.
But just a little bit, Sir Rad. Is it yes or a no?
Sorry?
Depends. Is it a yes or a no?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Yes.
But if you wanted to know more about this, make sure you come in session 2 and 3.
Yes. Mas interesting yun doon.
Okay. So, Sir Jax, nakita niyo po ba yung DM?
From whom?
This is from a girl.
Regarding I attended once. Okay, avoiding the descriptor neutral or neither. According, it might imply error in choosing. Well, with avoiding yung neutral na response, this is already a consensus na siguro ng experts sa field ninyo. I mean, we can do all the statistics naman from the statistical point of view. But the use of the even or odd na number of responses, it must be a consensus siguro sa field ninyo.
Yeah.
Kung psychology ba yan, psychometrics or education, Yun. And again, siguro review recent literature. That's just my opinion, I think. Kasi kami sa stat, we can analyze it kahit may neutral pa yan. But the interpretability, so yeah, we have to look beyond statistics siguro, no?
Yes.
Nagdedepende yan sa kung ano ang available na literature on that research matter that you are looking into. Or kung yun ba
Yeah.
ang valid para sa field of science na nire-research niyo or
Correct.
field na
Correct.
nire-research niyo.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if let's say if the psychometricians now agrees na wag na gumamit ng neutral na response,
Then-
edi follow it because that's what they have agreed.
Exactly.
Yun lang.
So, consensus ng field, consensus kung ano
Yeah.
yung nakikita sa literature. Okay. And last question. I don't know if this has been asked, but can we use mode in inferential statistics or hypothesis testing?
So tune in.
Tune
Second
in.
and
Tune in.
third.
Pero yes or no na lang, yes or no?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Oh, neutral.
Maybe, yes. Neutral.
Okay,
Neutral.
so
Yeah.
that leads us to when will be the next session. So
Yeah.
the next sessions will be coming in on March. So we will have the second session on March 1, I think. That's March 1, again at 1 p.m. and also on March 8th, again at 1 p.m. So make sure that you tune in so that some of your answers will be answered more thoroughly on those dates. So as a review on what we had today, Likert scale was developed by Rensis Likert, and the most common Likert scales would be 4, 5, and 7-point Likert scale. And it depends upon you or the consensus of your field whether to use an odd point Likert scale or an even point Likert scale. And you have to know that Likert scale are ordinal scales. Therefore, when trying to determine the central tendency, you always have to make sure that you use mode or median and not mean. And in data visualization, Likert scales are best visualized using bar graphs and pie chart. However, pie chart is not very appealing when the Likert scale is more than a 7-point Likert scale. So Noel, can we have the next schedules for our next sessions for the Likert data analysis series? Okay, so everyone, we hope to see you again in our next webinars. We have the next webinar on March 1, 2023 at 1:30 p.m. still. And this is with Professor Joseph Abordo on inferences on Likert data. That's part 1. And on March 8, 2023 at 1:30 p.m. with, of course, Sir Jack Aboy with inferences on Likert data, part 2. So I do hope you have learned something new today. I have learned something new today, and this is a very interesting topic for many student researchers and even seasoned teachers. And I do hope that with this introductory topic, you will learn to Likert statistics. Sir, Professor Raden Gerald Agustin, this is given to you, the certificate of recognition for your valuable time and expertise as resource speaker in the webinar Introduction to Likert Data Analysis today, February 22, 2023 via Zoom, given at the 22nd of February 2023, UP Cebu, Lahog, Cebu City, signed by our beloved TLRC coordinator, Miss Natividad Virginia Estelioria, Miss Nati. Congratulations, Sir Rad. I do hope you will still be with us in the next series.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay. So, Sir Rad, how is your first webinar with the TLRC?
So, overwhelming. Ang daming participants. So,
Ang
ayun.
daming participants.
So hopefully
So,
no, so next webinar series no same pa rin yung number of participants. Kasi mas
Yes.
interesting yung the other two series no.
Yes, exactly. Sir Rad, did you know that we are hitting around 700 participants on YouTube right now?
Thank you, thank you.
So it's so amazing. Patok na patok sa takilya. Diba, Miss Natty? Okay, so before anything else, before we go, before the evaluation, let's have our photo op. Everyone, kindly open your camera if you can. And let's have a little bit of photo opportunity for everyone here in our webinar. Kindly open your camera. It's very nice to see lovely faces, mga guwapo, mga guwapa. Hello. Okay, make sure that you're looking into your camera right now.
So,
Our tech woman, Noel, will be taking the photo for us.
all right. So please, to those who can turn on their cameras, please hold your smiles because we have 12 slides, full Pactaron. So
Full
Miss
packed.
April, yes, Miss April will be taking the screenshots for our photos. So this.
Okay. Please make sure that you keep your smiles first. There are 12 slides over here. Okay. Dami kong natutunan ngayon, Sir Jack, Sir Rad.
Page 4.
Page 4 na.
Dami.
Ay, page 4 na
Dami.
po.
So, page 5.
Ay po.
Page,
I think isang opisina sila doon, no? Ay po.
Wow.
Page 6.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing our webinar
Page
with your members of the office. We're so happy to have you with us.
Page 8. Page 9.
We're almost there.
Page 10.
2 more pages to go. And don't forget, we still have March 1
Page
for the part
11.
1 of the inferential data analysis for
Last
Likert.
page.
And the part 2 will be on March 8th. Okay. So was that the last page?
yes,
Yes,
Miss Vera, okay
ma'am.
na.
Okay, thank you so much for smiling with us right now. So before
Thank
you go, let's talk about the evaluation of these webinar and also your certificates, by the way. Okay, Noel will be sharing us evaluation reminders. So our evaluation and processing of e-certificates are always automated. Please make sure to type in the correct spelling of your name since this will reflect in your e-certificates. Also, please be mindful in typing your email address because it is where you will receive your certificates. We suggest that you keep a copy of your responses in the evaluation for you to verify if you made mistakes. Always make sure to click "Send me a copy of my responses" before submitting. Normally, it takes less than 3 minutes after submitting to receive your certificate, and should you not be able to receive it by 5 p.m. today, just send a reply message with your concern to the confirmation email that we sent. Gimingaw na akong Michael, ani, lrc.upcebu@up.edu.ph. We'll manually send the certificates on the next working day. Thank you very much. Make sure that you remember that this particular link that we are sending you right now is open for only 10 minutes. Again, I remind everyone, make sure that when you use the link, when you open the link, right name, correct email address, and make sure you tell us if you did not receive your certificate within 5 p.m. today. Okay, so I do hope that some of you were able to receive your certificates now. May I know? So Noel is actually giving us the link right now to the evaluation. Make sure to evaluate. Sir Jax.
I just want to remind also the participants that later, Sir Rad will give an email siguro regarding the output that you will if you are willing to comply with the certificate of completion. So it's a separate na certificate other than this certificate. If you like lang naman.
But I do believe that you should be doing it. Okay? So we all know that all of these sessions will have certificates after you have evaluated. However, Sir Rad and Sir Jax as well as Sir Abordo will be giving us a completion certificate if and only if we can complete the activities required for the completion certificate. And the completion certificate is the fourth certificate you can get out from this series. Okay. Okay, so make sure to click on those links. That is only available for about 10 minutes. Make sure you evaluate within that span of time. Okay, the link is here. Sir Jack, kumusta? How is it that you reach almost about 1,000 viewers today, including
Wow,
those
we
in
did not
YouTube?
expect this. It's
Magaling
really
kasi ang
overwhelming.
fans ng UP Cebu TLRC. They are very
Yes,
loyal.
indeed.
Thank you.
Indeed. Thank you.
Thank you, thank
And
you.
also kasi medyo controversial yung topic.
Exactly.
We ha- we were thinking about this since last year because we're just so
We are
infuriated
happy.
for a bit. So,
Infuriated for a bit because of the type
oo.
of data you see from the students' researches sometimes.
Eh,
Yeah,
and
and
not but the analysis that
yes.
was used na
Mm.
incorrect na pinupush pa din kahit mali. So anyway, this is our
It's a
first step to that.
controversial but also very enlightening topic.
Hopefully everyone was enlightened.
I am enlightened. Okay. Pati yung evals naka-Likert scale, of course. Ano ba? Dapat lang.
Yan nga yung sabi ko kayo, di ba? Sa intro ko na every end ng isang webinar, may Likert question talaga.
Oh, exactly. For the evaluation.
For evaluation.
Mm. Okay, meron nang naka-receive ng mga certificates. Thank you so much. And I do hope you have had a good time today learning with us.
Thank you.
Okay. For the upcoming sessions, do we need to register again, Noel? Noel, I think they have to register again, right? When the
Yes, miss.
PubMats will be on. So make
Yes,
sure
miss.
that
They have to
you
register.
tune in or you subscribe to the UP Cebu TLRC Facebook page. All of the information and all of the upcoming events will be posted there, including all of the links for registration. And also, if you want, you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel at UP Cebu TLRC. All of the proceedings, live stream proceedings of our webinars are there, and they are very, very useful, especially if you're a student researcher or a budding researcher. Some of them talks about how to handle data, some of them talks about research ethics, and some of them talks about statistics in research. So you can tune in at the UP Cebu TLRC YouTube page and UP Cebu TLRC Facebook page. Okay. Can we have the evaluation link again? Okay. So kindly have the evaluation link. Thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you very much, Miss Jen.
Thank you so much. So closing in, thank you so much everyone for participating in our learning session today. Thank you so much, Sir Jax,
Thank you,
Sir
Sir
Rad,
Jack, Sir Rad, and
Miss Nati,
see you
Miss
soon.
April, Miss Noel. Hi. Thank you so much everyone for being with us today. If you're done
Thank
with
you.
your certificate and evaluation, you may now leave the stream or the Zoom Okay, we are hoping to see you again next session. Okay, Noel, on your hands na.
Papapasukin ko muna yung mga taga-YouTube.
Oo. Sige. We are welcoming those who are coming from the YouTube live stream. This. Okay. Thank you po, Central Luzon State University. Thank you so much po. I hope yung mga friends natin dito sa Los Baños ay andito rin. Okay. Oh, from Mariano Marcos State University Ilocos Norte. Thank you so much. So we have a lot of Luzon participants today. Uy, shout out! Cebu Technological University. Hi, I miss Cebu so much. I would like to go home. Hi po hi po sa mga nanonood from Cebu Technological University. Uy, thank you rin dyan from those watching from Pangasinan. Medyo malapit na po ako dyan. Nandito po ako Los Baños.
So, shout out kay sa aming ever supportive chancellor, sa Attorney Leo Malagar. So, hello,
Attorney
Chancy.
Leo, saan po ba kayo? Nandyan po ba kayo? Nandyan siya?
Oo, no.
Wala
Hi,
si
Attorney
Chansey.
Leo. Hey, Chansey! Shout out naman po. Pahay naman po. Sige. Chansey, mag-hi ka.
Sa YouTube ata siya.
Ay, nasa YouTube. I see. Till next episode po. Salamat. Salamat po from those participating from Partido State University, Bicol. The instructions to do the output for today will be sent to you via email. Uy, best friend Timujin, nandyan ka pala. Hi! For those who would want to get the completion certificate, all of the activities that will be asked for you to do will be sent to you via email. Wow! Hi po! Thank you for joining us. Salamat rin po sa lahat na nag-participate from UP Diliman. Thank you so much po. Oy! Shout out po sa mga BS Statistics of Rizal Technological University. And also to the program chair, Sir Lawrence Osona of PUP Master in Applied Statistics. So meron pala tayong mga BS Statistics students today. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much rin po sa mga participants from Lourdes School of Mandaluyong. Thank you for being with us on air. Uy, we have participants from Sorsogon State University, Bulan campus. Thank you so much, Po, for being with us. See you in the next session. And also from Occidental Mindoro State College. Thank you. Shout out po to Mindanao State University College of Education. Thank you for being with us. Salamat po in answering the evaluation. See you next session, March 1 and March 8. Shout out to PUP Maine College of Engineering. Thank you po sa lahat. The evaluation link can be found in the chat box. So if you just came by from the YouTube live stream, welcome po dito sa ating Zoom meeting. The evaluation link can be found at the chat box. Shout out to Cebu Doctors University. Hi po dyan. Miss ko ng Cebu. Hi! Hi! BS Statistics students from UP Visayas. Shout out raw. Hello, Sir Joseph. Uy, crush ba to? Crush? Crush natin na teacher. Okay, that's from a BS Statistics student from UP Visayas. Hi po dyan sa UP Visayas. Meron rin po akong mga students dyan. Okay. The YouTube live stream will be posted over there at the live stream section at our YouTube channel, TLRC UP Cebu. So you can actually review some of the items we have talked about through the YouTube channel. Shout out to University of Immaculate Conception from Davao. Hi, over there. Hi. So shout out to Davao, all of the participants over there. And also from MSSU CTE, Lawag City. Happy Tanok Festival Ilocos Norte. And also those participants coming from Ibahay Academy Incorporated from Western Visayas. Thank you for being here with us. Hi po! Hi, Sir Jaynard, watching from Ibahay Academy Incorporated.
For those po na walang na-receive, please email us po. Ilalagay ko po sa chat box yung email.
Ah, so, for those who were not able to receive their certificate, even after evaluating, you may email us at lrc.upcebu@up.edu.ph. The email can be found in the chat box currently right now.
Sa output, Miss Jared, sabi ni Sir Rad, mag-email lang sila.
Okay. Sige. For those who wanted to have the completion certificate and wanted to do the outputs, kindly make sure that you email lrc.upcebu@up.edu.ph so that we can send you the output package which you will have to do to be able to complete and have the completion certificate. Okay. Okay. Again, I repeat, for those who wanted to do the completion certificate, you may email lrc.upcebu.edu.ph for the output packet, which you will be doing and completing and passing to get the fourth certificate or the completion certificate. Thank you rin po for watching. Shout out to Holy Trinity College of General Santos City. Hi po! We hope to see you again in our next 2 sessions. Thank you so much for being with us. Kindly email lrc.upcebu@up.edu.ph if you wish. Okay. Noel, I cannot chat.
Yes, Miss Jared?
There's something wrong with my Zoom, so I cannot chat to everyone. I cannot click on the chat to everyone. They would like to know the email
Okay.
lrc.upcebu@edu.ph. They would want to have the packet for the output. Okay, here it is. Yay! Congratulations, Noel.
Thank you, Miss Jer. Wow.
I miss this kind of thing. I've been not like this for 2022, right?
Oh.
We're doing again 2023. I'm back.
Wow. Thank you kayo, Miss, for volunteering, Char. Pero
No
na,
problem, Vera.
I can do hosting for TLRC and coordination if you want.
yay, love, love.
I have more time right now than before. Last semester was like so dreaded. I don't have any sleep juggling PhD classes. You know?
Oh, pero God ka, naroon mo scared.
Yes, kaya wala na ako nagtudlo because I'm not teaching
Yeah.
anymore.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Last time is Vera.
Last sem was like I'm almost dead.
I thought wala siya load last sem.
The reason behind it is that they were not able to find a substitute for me last semester.
No.
And that's the reason why I have to go through the process of, doing my PhD and also still having classes at school. Mm.
Uy,
Yes, you
wala
need to
akong
register for session 2. Kindly make sure that you follow the Facebook account of TLRC, UP Cebu TLRC. We will be sending out the information for the registration over there. There will be 4 certificates that will be available for these series. The first 3 certificates are available after each session. And the 4th certificate or the completion certificate is available if and only if you can complete the output. Now, if you wanted to complete the output, you will have to email lrc.upcebu@up.edu.ph so that we can give you the output pocket. Yes. And if you wanted to register for the next session, kindly make sure that you follow the TLRC Facebook page. We'll be sending out the information for the next 2 sessions over there.
And yes, Mr. Thank you for reminding them. Also, I would like to also remind everyone that in order to get the certificates, the one that you get each session, they have to be registered for Zoom. So we have limited slots, yes, but in order to really get the certificate, they have to be registered first and receive the Zoom credentials.
Very good. Okay, so make sure that you register for the Zoom so that you can get your certificate. Of course, there is limited number of slots, but make sure that you do register. Okay.